Hello everyone, my name is Kazi Al-Afi and today I will be presenting my CS50 Introduction to Cybersecurity final project. The topic I have chosen is flaws discovered in workhorse municipality software, a case that shows how even small design mistakes can expose a very sensitive data. Workhorse Software Services provides municipal accounting platforms used by over 300 municipalities in Wisconsin. In June 2025, two critical flaws CVE 2025-9037 and CVE 2025-9040 were discovered by James Harold of Sparrow IT Solutions. These vulnerabilities were later confirmed and published by CERT in August 2025. If left unpatched, they could have exposed data such as social security numbers, payroll records, and tax or utility billing information. The first flaw, CVE 2025-9037, comes from storing the SQL Server connection string in plain text inside a configuration file. This practice is considered a critical security weakness. If this file is stored in a shared network folder, anyone with read access, even a low-level user, can open the file, copy the database username and password, and gain direct access to the municipal database. With CVE 2025-9040, the process is even easier. Without logging in, the attacker selects File Backup at the login screen. The system then generates a full backup inside a zip file. The attacker could store the backup data anywhere. Since the backup requires no authentication to restore, they could have full access to every municipal records in just a few clicks. Now, let's look at how attackers could abuse these flaws. For CVE 2025-9037, the attacker would first locate the configuration file, then simply read the plain text credentials inside. Using those credentials, they could connect directly to the municipal SQL server and either steal the sensitive data or tamper with them. With CVE 2025-9040, the process is even easier. Without logging in, the attacker selects File Backup at the login screen. The system then generates a full backup inside a zip file. The attacker could store the backup data anywhere. Since the backup requires no authentication to restore, they could have full access to every municipal records in just a few clicks. The potential impact of these flaws is significant. First, sensitive citizen data like social security numbers and payroll information could be stolen and used for identity theft. Second, attackers could alter official records like tax logs or payrolls, damaging the integrity of municipal systems. Third, confirmed that possession of the database backup enables data tampering, potentially undermining critical financial audit trails. Third, with stolen credentials, attacker could escalate privilege and move deeper into government IT infrastructure. And finally, the flaw make it easy to exfiltrate a huge number of data which could then be weaponized by ransom groups or extortion attackers. So, how can we prevent this? Municipalities needs to apply the latest patch which fixes both the flaws. Access to sensitive configuration files should be restricted with strict permission and least privilege principles. Strong authentication methods such as Windows authentication and multi-factor authentication should be enforced. While vendors released a patch, they emphasized that customers ultimately hold responsibility for choosing a secure SQL authentication method, reinforcing the need to switch to Windows authentication over less secure options. Backups must be encrypted and locked behind authentication. Finally, monitoring system and incident response plan should be in place to detect and respond to any suspicious activity. In conclusion, the workhorse vulnerabilities show how simple oversights like storing password in plain text or leaving the backups unauthenticated can put entire municipalities at risk. Even though no confirmed attacks have been reported, the potential consequences are severe enough to highlight the important lessons. Always patch software promptly, encrypt sensitive data, never store credentials in plain text, and always prepare an incident response plan before the breach occurs. Thank you all.